On this episode of Lifeguard, high winds wreak havoc in Long Beach.
We have a turned over sailboat out here by the breakwater.
Give me a buoy! Hypothermia kicks in real quick out here in this type of water.
And finding something in the water has the lifeguards concerned.
Smells like gasoline.
What we found here is a boat that's full of gasoline, means his tank was probably been leaking for a long time, so it's a bomb.
While at Mission Beach, lifeguards scramble to find a missing child.
It's a missing juvenile. Last seen in the water is a little bit of a concern.
And in La Jolla, a rocky encounter in the open ocean puts a young woman's life in the hands of lifeguards.
Slide that behind her, you guys.
The lifeguards of Southern California protect over 400 miles of coastline. And nothing impacts their day like the weather.
As lifeguards, a lot of us are amateur meteorologists.
Good weather brings a lot of excitement, a lot of action.
On these beaches, lifeguards are the first responders.
I have a 911 call of a distressed swimmer.
I like those exciting days where you don't really know what's going to happen.
Dispatch, a person injured on a vessel.
They are there to save you. They are there to lifeguard. Welcome to Long Beach, the second busiest port in the United States. Over 70 million tons of cargo pass through here each year. In addition to being a major shipping port, it's also an ideal home to thousands of pleasure boaters.
Long Beach is a unique beach town. We do have an extreme amount of boating. It's a big marina system. We have a lot of boats, a lot of boat traffic. How's the pump engine?
Pump engine runs great.
Okay.
This is Robert Hamilton, a veteran of the Long Beach Fire Department lifeguards.
I've been a marine safety rescue boat operator for the past 6 years. I've been with the lifeguard department here for 32 years.
Today, Robert will be on patrol with partner John Burt.
Been a lifeguard here in Long Beach since 1972. It's a great job, and I'll keep doing this till my body gives out.
This team has a combined 70 years of experience as lifeguards. But for Robert, it was a very personal rescue as a teenager that led him into this line of work.
I was 15, went to the beach with my parents, and my dad got stuck in a riptide and he couldn't get out. And he was going to drown. I turned around and my mom was in the same riptide. And so I took her to shore. I remember my dad giving her a shove saying, just get her in. And I kind of threw her with the next wave onto the shore. You know, watched her get in, and at the same time I back out from my dad. And right as he went down under the water, I was just swam right there, right on top of him. It was about a 150-yard swim. Jumped down, dove down, got him, pulled him back into shore, and I knew I was going to do this forever. It's a job like any other job, going to work every day. You know, we're fortunate we get to go to work every day in shorts, and we get to drive a boat, and we get neat trucks and neat equipment, and we get to dive and swift water rescue. We get to do a lot of great things. The job it's unbelievable. It's been a great ride. The family that somebody's drowning or something's bad's happening to them, as lifeguards and lifesavers, it's kind of our best day because we get to use our equipment, we get to use all our training. You know, we feel the sympathy for the family, but for us, it's a great day. We get to talk about it, we're excited, we're pumped up, and afterwards it takes a while to come down from that euphoric kind of high that you're on. But that's our good day. That's what we talk about on our days off.
On this busy weekend, Robert and John are part of a 5-boat crew covering the Long Beach Harbor. 3 hours into their patrol, a call comes in.
Over. We have a turned over sailboat out here by the breakwater.
Beach Ops Rescue Boat 4, we're on scene. It's a turtle Hobie. All right, here's the Hobie. You're gonna have to get wet if it's turtle. Showtime.
The owner of the sailboat tells the crew that he's uninjured, but he'll need help getting the boat flipped over.
Go ahead, Johnny. Okay, what John's doing is he's gonna try to get the sail up straight. To do that, we have to turn it into the wind. Johnny, hey.
After struggling to right the vessel, John concludes that the mast has filled with water and is too heavy for the two of them to lift.
This mast is full, so we gotta pull up slowly with this.
By wrapping a rope around the sailboat and attaching it to the rescue vessel, the lifeguards will attempt to flip the capsized catamaran. But in order for this to work, both John and the sailor must use their weight to keep the rope from slipping.
You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
As they attempt to right the vessel, the boater shows signs of fatigue. The water is in the low 60s, and he's been in it for way too long.
Slow muscle. Get all the water out of the sails. He's using his weight. Hopefully his sails are loose.
As the boat rights, trouble sets in. The boater's overexerted himself. He's slipping into hypothermia.
Give me a buoy!
Hypothermia kicks in real quick out here in this type of water. But we're gonna go ahead and bring him back to our boat. Just a typical boat rescue is now a full-blown rescue.
Luckily for the stranded sailor, the lifeguards are there to pull him to safety before his hypothermia worsens. And while his day is over, the lifeguards are far from done.
Careful. Take your time. We want to relax, check you out a little bit, all right? Does anything hurt? Did you hit anything else? No, just cold?
Your plan would be upside down for an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you gonna be able to sail that boat back?
Well, I just was getting the water so darn long and cold.
Okay, I understand that.
Just as simple as that.
Okay. You take your time. You have as much time as you need. It's your choice. We'll take you back to the beach. We'll pull your sails and tow it back. Or you sail back. That's up to you. If you're cold, there's no worries.
If I can just warm up for a second, I'll be fine.
Beach Ops Rescue Boat 4. Guy was a little hypothermic. We've had him on board for about 5 minutes. We're gonna be following him back to Claremont. Just an overturned Hobie you think is a simple call turns into he's been in the water for 45 minutes. I'm sure he'll be done for the day.
30 minutes later, another call comes in.
Rescue Boat 4, Beach Ops. We got a call, possible hazmat at Shoreline.
Downtown Marina, we have a report of a hazardous material on the water, unknown substance. A rescue boat in the area will be on scene when we get there. We'll back them up and we'll see what we need to do.
En route, Robert and John focus on the radio chatter, gathering information about an apparent fuel leak.
Beach Ops Rescue Boat 3. You call Marine Ops and have them notify the owner at Janeway F, slip number 4. Put the crew in on turnouts to open up the hatches.
Responding to the call, our lifeguards must head from the outer harbor to the largest, most densely packed marina in Long Beach. When they arrive, Rescue Boat 3 is already on scene.
What do you got?
Gained entry to the vessel. Smells like gasoline.
What we found here is a boat that's full of gasoline, means his tank was probably been leaking for a long time. So it's a bomb.
Meanwhile, 90 miles down the coast in La Jolla, California, lifeguards are busy with a big weekend crowd on the shore and in the water.
Hey guys, stay out this side more. Swells are gonna push you in the rocks. Stay out here more. No jacket, I don't want you guys in there. Sorry about that, you guys. We'll make sure you guys are all right.
One of the busiest areas for the lifeguards is known as Devil's Slide, where kayakers are drawn to a series of dangerous tidal caverns.
I don't want you in the caves without them helmets on. If you guys flip over in there and no helmets on, no jackets on, you're gonna get knocked unconscious and it's just too much of a risk.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you.
The water around Devil's Slide is usually calm, but that calm can be deceptive.
It'll seem like it's tranquil and no waves breaking, and then a set of waves will come and they're unexpectedly knocked out of their kayak.
Today's beautiful weather has packed the beach. Large groups of boaters are headed to Devil's Slide when the lifeguards receive word of a 911 call about a kayaker in trouble.
Okay, all units, we got some red kayaks with a yellow paddle raised.
Lifeguard Dan Hodel responds to the call from La Jolla shores.
We got a call come over dispatch saying that there was a kayak in distress at Devil Slides. I grabbed the helmet and my swim fins and ran down, jumped on the back of the ski.
Jet 3, keep heading to the south. You'll see one kayak with a yellow paddle up in the air. That's your location to go to. Copy that, we got visual. 3 Sam Lifeguard Dispatch. Do you want medics rolling on this due to the nature?
Yes, let's have medics go to the boat launch, but we may end up redirecting them. We'll have to get a better size up on this.
Copy, directing to the boat launch, La Jolla Shore.
Now, at Devil's Slide, lifeguard Hodel identifies the victims.
As soon as we came up on scene, we knew we were at the right place because there was a girl with a pretty good abrasion on her head. Anytime you have a person who hits their head and loses consciousness in the water, possibly has a neck or back injury, yeah, it's a big call.
Meanwhile, in Long Beach, lifeguard Robert Hamilton and his team are dealing with a volatile situation.
What we found here is a boat that's full of gasoline, means his tank was probably been leaking for a long time, so it's a bomb.
A vessel this size could easily contain 300 gallons of gasoline that might be ignited by any stray spark.
The possibility of this boat exploding, it's a great possibility. It's not just one boat exploding. We're in a marina, you got neighbors in close proximity, so if this boat blows up, we have a whole different set of issues. I'm gonna put my deckhand John off. He's gonna go onto the docks and look around and search if he can find anything.
The lifeguards and fire department share a unique partnership in this city. Here, all rescue boat operators and deckhands are also trained in marine firefighting and armed with the equipment to handle hazardous and potentially explosive material.
To be honest with you, there's always a little nerves when you have your turnouts on, you're going into a confined space. You don't know what you're gonna see, you don't know if you're gonna find smoke, flame, you're gonna find fuel in the bilge. It kind of gets your adrenaline flowing a little bit.
Okay, we have 2 of our deckhands in the boat right now. What's in there?
Looks like he's been working on his port engine. A lot of stuff's disassembled. Probably the fuel lines. Putting a little product in the bilge.
Is there any fuel pocketing down below in any of the forward hatches?
Forward.
How much?
Enough.
With a confirmed leak, the first thing the rescue team must do is cut off all electrical power to the boat.
We turned off all the batteries, all the switches, all the breaker panels. What we're doing now is shut off the bilge pumps so we don't get a spark.
He's got shore power coming in on your left side right there.
Unplugging the boat's power at the source increases the chances of sparking. John must exercise extreme caution while handling the live wire. After a few tense moments, Robert receives good news.
Okay, shore power is disconnected. The boat and also the dock.
So the electricity's off, so that's one less hazard we have to worry about. We're gonna open the windows, open the doors, and we're gonna go ahead and put a blanket of foam all along the bottom of that boat. What that does is takes away the oxygen layer, so that the chance of explosion's a lot less.
With the boat safely defused, the lifeguards tow the vessel to an isolation dock far from the crowded marina. There, the owner will be able to safely repair his fuel leak.
These guys make it look fairly easy, but anytime you're going into what's considered a bomb, it's a high-risk maneuver, and that's a situation we just resolved.
Meanwhile, 90 miles south in San Diego, lifeguards are responding to a kayak emergency at La Jolla Cove.
We're on scene with a 21-year-old female. They got washed up on the rocks. She has a couple wounds on her forehead, brief loss of consciousness, and we are going to put the 2 girls on the back of the ski and transport them to the boat launch.
With waves breaking along the rocks at Devil's Slide, lifeguards have to get the victim out of harm's way before stabilizing her. With 2 lifeguards on scene and time a factor, 1 lifeguard drives while partner Dan Hodel stabilizes her neck. They're headed to the boat launch where paramedics are waiting.
We had her sitting on the seat of the ski. I sat behind her. I put my hands on her head and neck to hold her steady.
As Jet 3 approaches the boat launch, lifeguards prepare to transfer the victim from the personal watercraft onto a backboard. But given the nature of this rescue, the transfer must happen on the open water.
I think the tricky part was just getting her from on the seat of the PWC over the back of the sled and then onto the beach.
Put this on your neck right here, okay? We're just gonna support your neck. Slide down behind her, you guys. Let us do all the work. 1, 2, 3. Let your legs go. Let your legs go. There you go. Okay, I got the legs.
Procedures like this hinge on teamwork between the lifeguards. They must keep the victim's head and neck in line to avoid the risk of paralysis.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
With the victim now on the backboard, Lifeguards hand her over to the paramedics.
Are you good hands now?
She got rolled over by a wave onto the rocks. Kayak tipped over.
The woman is secured to the backboard, packaged and rushed to the hospital. The injuries she sustained on the rocks of Devil's Slide may be very serious. But thanks to the San Diego Lifeguards, she is now in good hands. This is San Diego, California, long recognized as one of America's premier beach settings. Just north of downtown, Mission Beach, with over 2 million visitors per year, is the most crowded beach in the city.
This is one of our most populated beaches, reason being all roads lead to Mission Beach, and there's a very large parking lot right here. Traditionally, we have a lot of rip currents in this area, and there's likely to be some rescues here in the next few minutes.
Keeping all these people safe? The San Diego Lifeguards. There are 26 lifeguard towers spread along Mission Beach. Today, Sergeant Rick Strobel is supervising them all.
2 Sam, Tower 19.
Tower 19.
Just make sure you keep a good line between the swimmers and the surfers.
On crowded days like today, Strobel and the other lifeguards will work together to keep an eye on every inch of the beach. Constant communication and vigilance are key to making sure everyone goes home safely.
MJ at Tower 13, 9-year-old Monica Rivas, last seen 15 minutes ago wearing blue jeans and a red sweatshirt with poor swimming ability.
Okay, and MJ is a missing juvenile. Last seen in the water is a little bit of a concern, especially due to the fact that she has blue jeans and a t-shirt on. Poor swimming ability in an area of known rip currents. We're going to have to follow up on this one pretty quick.
Near Tower 13, Monica's family has gathered. Monica's mother is living every parent's worst nightmare, a missing child.
Do we have the reporting party on this missing juvenile?
Hey, firm, we have Carolyn Rivas, who's the aunt at our tower, as well as a few other family members.
Monica's aunt, Carolyn Rivas, is the one who went to the lifeguard tower to report her missing.
When you lose somebody, you just feel like you're not gonna find them. So you just wanna run and scream her name, so it's very scary.
Was she in the water? Did the last person here? No.
She wasn't in the water.
She wasn't in the water. Okay, that's better. And I know it's really traumatic, so we're gonna find her, okay? We're gonna find her. Now, if she were in the water,
right,
the current's going from the south to the north.
Right.
So she may have gone in here and then gotten pushed down the beach a little bit. And then when people come in, they're not where they went into the water and they get confused. The next thing that people will do is they'll turn away from the wind and the sun. So the wind right now is coming from out of the southwest. So she's likely headed that way. But we got lifeguards all up and down this beach, and we will find her.
Lifeguards continue to search for a girl in blue jeans and a red shirt. But 30 minutes pass without a sighting. Sergeant Strobel decides to double-check the description given to him by the distressed family.
And she was wearing blue jeans?
No, actually, my sister informed me that she was wearing, she changed into her bathing suit, which is like a Hawaiian skirt, green, with flowers on it.
Okay.
So that's what she was wearing. And she has long hair, curly, and she's light-skinned.
Sergeant Strobel quickly updates Monica's description.
The missing 9-year-old juvenile female, Monica, is wearing a green and white Hawaiian-style bathing suit. She has a light complexion with long, dark-colored hair.
Strobel's update has immediate results.
She was mid-sand, running 5 feet in front of my tower, heading northbound.
Yeah, I was on Tower 20, and I was doing my water observation, and this little girl, long brown hair, fair complexion, bathing suit, green skirt, runs by my tower like 5 feet in front of me. And I thought it was odd because she was by herself.
It seems Sergeant Strobel's notion that Monica was headed north away from the wind is accurate. However, since that sighting at Tower 20, there's been no sign of Monica. After another 10 agonizing minutes, the radio crackles to life.
Tower 23, I have 9-year-old Monica here at my tower.
21 time copies, and that was Tower 23?
Tower 23 has 9-year-old Monica.
As the lifeguards expected, Monica had traveled over a mile north with her back to the sun and wind. A lifeguard from Pacific Beach drives Monica back to Tower 13, where the family anxiously awaits her return.
She went almost a mile and a half.
Una milla para allá.
So don't worry, we're gonna bring her here. Can you see the truck?
After nearly an hour, Monica is finally reunited with her family.
We were very thankful to all the people that helped us, you know, the lifeguards and stuff. So we were very relieved.
Gracias a las personas que nos ayudaron a buscarla.
Every lost and found child is always a traumatic experience, just at different levels. And with all the lost and found children that we've had, we've never lost one. It's a team effort. You got to go with the information that you have. Although very traumatic to the lost child and to the family, it was a happy ending.
Incidents like this will unfortunately be played out many times every weekend on San Diego's beaches. But they don't have to be. Having a plan before hitting the sand can make all the difference.
When you come to the beach, expect to see lots and lots of people. Expect there to be currents that can move you along the beach. What you don't want to do is use a green umbrella as your landmark, because there's going to be hundreds of green umbrellas. Use something like a numbered tower, a business. Have a place to meet or have a landmark to come back to that's near your towel. And then tell your children, if you get lost, go to the lifeguards. The lifeguards are there to help you.
In the intense world of medical emergencies,
1 patient, 3 times stab wounds.
there's nothing more extreme than a code red.
It's a 2-car RTC.
That's correct.
It means there's an immediate threat to life.
Got 1 male still trapped in the vehicle.
In the West Midlands, a highly specialist team are on call 24/7, ready to race to these major traumas.
ETA 4 minutes.
By road and air.
03, we are lifted from Cosford.
Responding to the most severe 999 calls.
Open up the Lucas device over there for me.
Day and night.
All right, well done.
From car crashes
Just need to check.
to stabbings.
We're going to put some oxygen on your pals.
Here, where time is critical, lives will be saved. On roadsides, in back gardens, and inside homes.
It's okay, coming off the chest.
These emergency doctors and paramedics use cutting-edge trauma techniques and surgery normally only seen in operating theatres to save people from almost certain death.
Sorry, mate. Oh, no, mate. Oh, no. We're going to sort you out.
Filmed over 2 months with the critical care team,
Ready, set, slide.
we captured every vital second as these specialist crews work to save lives.
Ready, steady, roll.
Tonight, a teenager is bleeding to death from a stab wound.
Okay, put a direct on there then. Don't fight, don't fight. I know it's scary.
An accident with an angle grinder.
Is it pretty bad? Okay.
He hasn't seen it.
Okay, all right, bud. All right, bud.
An elderly man with a serious head trauma.
Yeah, you've taken a bit of a beating, haven't you? I think the road's won this time.
And a woman has a life-threatening seizure.
Emily, we're going to look after you, okay?
Ambulance service. Patient breathing.
He's come off his push bike. He's unconscious. He's breathing. All his teeth are gone and everything. He's in a bad way. His face is hit the road.
And does he seem to be taking regular breaths?
He's breathing very fast.
Is the patient in the road?
He is in the road, yes.
How old do you think he is?
I'd say he's in his 60s. Not all his teeth, certainly.
We've got an ambulance en route, okay, so just keep your eye out for the ambulance.
I will do, yeah.
A local ambulance has already been dispatched to the scene of the accident, but there's a high chance the man has suffered paralysis or brain damage, and his life may be at risk, so critical care backup is needed.
It's come through with an unconscious male in his 60s that's come off a motorbike.
60, that's obviously, thanks very much. I think it'll be about 8 minutes of it.
Critical care paramedics Will Meadows and Colin Apps deal with life-threatening emergencies on a daily basis. Their advanced trauma training gives the most gravely ill the best chance of survival.
Yeah, the information's come through that he's unconscious. That would suggest that he may well have serious injuries, including injuries to his head.
10 minutes after receiving the emergency call, they are on scene. The local paramedics have taken the injured man into their ambulance.
Sorry, guys. My name's Will, one of the critical care paramedics.
I'm Joe.
Paramedic Joe quickly briefs Will on the details of the accident so he can begin his assessment.
He's been travelling on his motorbike, no helmet. Push bike, sorry. Yeah, apparently the front wheel has locked up.
Yeah.
He's gone over the handlebars and full impact on the front of his face.
Okay.
73-year-old Fred, a retired crane driver, was riding back home after visiting his 99-year-old mother when the accident happened.
Bystanders state that he didn't move to start with, so we're querying a period of unconsciousness with him. On our arrival, he sat up, he's talking, he's fully orientated, he knew where he was, but he couldn't recall the incident of what had happened.
Okay.
Fred's injuries are so extensive, he needs urgent hospital treatment and a brain scan.
We've got a good 2-inch laceration above his right eyebrow. Initially, they said that he wasn't moving.
At the very least, he has concussion, but the memory loss and blackout could be the sign of a much more serious brain injury. It's Friday night, and Dr. Adam Lowe, a consultant anaesthetist at Birmingham's Queen Elizabeth Hospital, is getting ready to start his shift for the critical care team. Tonight, he's paired with full-time critical care paramedic Rob Davies.
It's very hard to predict on any day of the week, but Friday night, people are out and about. Social nights, there'll be more people in the city centre. We may well be busy in and around Birmingham. So yeah, we just get our checklists done, make sure we've got all our kit ready. Hopefully a nice, gentle evening.
12 minutes later, an emergency call comes through to the base.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. Take you on the job, please. It's going to be a 21-year-old male with a stab wound. The stab wound is 2 inches long on his upper back, query with a knife. It also says on the notes, query offender is outside. There's nothing to suggest police on scene that.
Last year in the West Midlands, there were nearly 5,000 violent knife crimes. Reducing the number of deaths is one of the critical care team's main objectives.
Alpha Whiskey 55, thank you. I'm sure the sector told you as well. Crew is en route. We believe these offenders are outside the property and the patient is inside the property. Details are being passed to police at the moment. No, thank you. Just to confirm, these police are not yet in attendance, so we believe the offenders to be outside of.
Hi Nate, that's received. We're about 2 minutes out, so is there an RVB point over?
With the attackers believed to be nearby, the trauma desk instructs Adam and Rob not to go directly to the house, but wait for police protection.
The two people are outside who they think have done it, so they're advising us not to go directly to the house. It's that balance, really, isn't it? Because if it's still an aggressive scene or not secure, we don't want either ourselves or other members of the ambulance service getting injured.
5-5, thank you. Police have just pulled the power location. Just stand by you and I'll take.
It's 7:38 p.m. Police and ambulance crew arrive at the address, so Adam and Rob get the go-ahead to enter the property, while our camera operator is told to wait outside.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Are you guys on your own?
Yeah.
You are going to need to go to hospital. Let me just see your front, make sure you haven't got any injuries here.
The man is in shock and distressed with a stab wound to his back. It's unclear to Adam and Rob whether or not he knew his attacker.
OK, well, lie down onto your side, then. Lie down onto your side.
This on his left side of his back. We're just going to lift and go around the corner then, yeah? Happy?
But he's lucky. After assessment by the critical care team, it's decided whilst it's a nasty cut, it's not life-threatening.
They're not nice incidents to go to, but we go to stabbings fairly regularly, so it's not a surprise that we're being tasked to a stabbing. Unfortunately, it's one of those things, and living and working in the urban environment, stabbings are fairly common and are quite a significant workload for major trauma centres as well.
In the West Midlands, critical care paramedics deal with around 30 stabbing incidents a week.
All right, mate.
And they don't have long to wait for the next one.
We've reached the ambulance. Is the patient conscious and breathing?
Somebody stabbed him on the neck.
Okay. Do you know if he's breathing?
He's breathing at the moment, yes. He needs the ambulance quick as possible. A lot of blood coming out.
Is the blood spurting out?
Yeah.
It is, my love, okay.
Oh, my God.
Just keep pressing on his neck, my love. We're coming as quick as we can.
Oh, God. I've never seen anything like this. It's getting worse.
Just keep the pressure on that bleed, love. You're doing all you can.
We're on the way to someone who's been stabbed in the neck, and it's spurting, and there aren't any crews there yet, but they're going to let us know when someone gets there.
The second stabbing of the shift sounds very serious. Spurting blood may mean a major artery has been cut. Adam and Rob need to get there fast, as there's a danger the victim could bleed out and die.
You're clear on my side. They are stopping. Yeah, still stopped.
Police and the nearest ambulance have also been dispatched to the scene. Adam and Rob are just 5 minutes away, but with a serious stab wound, every second counts.
Okay, thank you. Just to keep you updated, we're going to keep having extra calls on this. I think people are panicking a lot on the scene. The drugs going on the scene, he's still bleeding through towels that are being applied. There's a lot of blood on the floor, and patients are collecting the floor.
Yeah, that's great. We're 1 minute out.
A stab wound to the neck could have severed airways as well as arteries. As trauma specialists, it's one of the most challenging situations Adam and Rob can be faced with.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. I'm Adam. I'm the doctor on Meadows behind you. You okay? Okay, don't fight. Don't fight.
Adam immediately takes control of the scene, locating and assessing the size and severity of the neck wound.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Right. So quite a lot.
What's wrong with your breathing?
Can we get the trolley?
Okay, guys.
He's bleeding heavily and struggling to breathe.
Okay. Big. Adam, can you see down there?
The victim is just 16 years old.
Ambulance services the patient breathing.
In 2012, the West Midlands Critical Care Team and Midlands Air Ambulance joined together to create a specialist trauma response unit.
We've got more experience in dealing with patients who are critically ill or injured.
Let's do a few little checks on you, okay? See how you're doing.
38 doctors and 34 critical care paramedics bring hospital-level care to those most in need.
What we provide is to bring an advanced care team to the patient at the roadside.
I'm just going to have a little look at your foot, okay?
Nice deep breath.
Well done.
By focusing on only the most serious emergencies, their enhanced skills and training often make the difference between life and death.
I think they've proved that with a good trauma network nationally, that you're 60% more likely to survive a trauma.
It's very intense at times and demanding, but thoroughly rewarding. I love my job.
Ambulance services the patient breathing.
Yeah, he's had his hand in a steel saw.
A steel saw?
Yeah, it's gone straight through. Yeah, I don't want to describe it too much.
How far through his hand has the saw gone?
Dan, you need to move your hand, please, because I need to describe it too. I need to put your hand over your face. Hold on. Oh, very, 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 very bad.
We're getting someone to him as soon as we can. Just keep the pressure on the wound, directly on the wound.
An accident with a power tool can inflict life-altering injuries. An ambulance has been called, but they've requested specialist trauma backup, and critical care paramedic Tom Waters is now en route.
Looks like I'm going to be first on scene, and it's someone, they just said he's cut through his hand with an angle grinder. DIY gone wrong. The benefit that I think my team and myself can go to is we can hopefully make that assessment to really identify what hospital is best for that patient.
10 minutes later, Tom is on scene. The local ambulance crew are already there.
Hello? Hi, you're right. So what's happened?
He was cutting the door frame there and went straight through his hand.
30-year-old bricklayer Daniel was cutting the timber on a workbench using an angle grinder with a 4.5-inch circular blade when he lost control and it sliced through his right hand. His wife Stacey found him and has been trying to stop the bleeding.
Okay, and how bad is it before we have a look at it? Is it pretty bad? Okay.
Yeah. He hasn't seen it.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
Daniel.
Daniel. Do you live here, do you? Is this right? Okay.
Yeah.
The paramedics have been on scene for 5 minutes. Daniel is in a severe state of shock and close to passing out. They've got him to raise his arm above his heart to try and stop the bleeding.
It's fine. Have you got your trauma pack with you?
No, I can go grab it.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're saying it's quite bad, we'll get our bandages just in case. If you hurt yourself anywhere else?
No.
No, so it's just your hand?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I...
Yeah.
This impressive towel you got on here.
It's the second one.
Okay. Okay, so what we do, before we open it up, we'll get our bandages just in case.
Daniel's in excruciating pain and can't bear to look at the damage he's done.
Let's have a look. All right. Are you all right to come round here and cut his sleeve off? Yeah. I've got some scissors on me, if you want. Yeah. So quick. Okay. I know, sorry, buddy. We'll give you some pain relief, but what I want to do is have a real quick look at it first.
Until he can actually see the wound, Tom doesn't know if Daniel has cut an artery or is in danger of losing any fingers. Both require immediate surgery.
Okay, all right, bud. All right, bud.
Did he get himself off the floor and self-mobilised into the back here?
Well, no, we took the stretcher out to him, cleared his C-spine, managed to stand him up and he stood onto the stretcher.
In Walsall, critical care paramedics Will Meadows and Colin Apps have been called to the scene of a serious head trauma.
He's got a full laceration to the top of his lip, complete laceration on his tongue as well, so it's kind of lizard tongue at the front.
Righto.
3 teeth have come out and also laceration to the bottom lip where it's hanging.
Okay.
73-year-old Fred was travelling at speed on his bicycle when he was thrown headfirst onto the road, landing on his face. He blacked out and is now dazed but conscious.
Have we found the teeth, or are they?
Yeah. We've got 3 of them there,
Okay, so there's 3 missing and you found them all?
Yeah,
okay.
the ones at the back look quite broken as well. There's nothing there I can see that's gone through the pallet at the top.
Mind just opening your mouth there, sir?
Stick your tongue out again, Fred, for me.
Will checks Fred's mouth to be sure there is no obstruction to his airway or damage to the roof of his mouth.
How are you breathing? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in much pain at all?
No, no pain. Just a little bit of bruise there.
Yeah, try not to touch your face there, sir, okay? Because we don't want to contaminate that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, you've taken a bit of a beating, haven't you? I think the road's won this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Will is most worried about Fred's unseen injuries. His head took the full force of the impact. Head traumas are very unpredictable, and there is a risk he may have damaged blood vessels that could turn into a more serious bleed on the brain.
I don't know what happened, actually.
No, I don't think you're going to have the answers either, Fred. Accidents happen really quick, don't they?
Are you on any blood thinners at all?
No.
No?
No medication, no medical history at all.
medication.
Is it still bleeding inside your mouth?
Yeah, try not to touch it though, Fred.
Yeah? Doctor, you know that bit between the top lip and your nose? That's split vertically.
Will calls into the trauma desk to alert them that Fred is likely to need reconstructive surgery on his face.
He's got split lips. He's had 3 teeth knocked out. They're all accounted for. And his tongue's been split as well, sort of in the middle, and quite aptly described as lizard tongue. Got a pulse rate of 98, SATs of 96%, G15, and a rest rate of 80. C-spine is clear.
Part of Will and Colin's expertise is to ensure Fred is sent to the appropriate trauma centre that can treat all of his injuries.
Okay, well, I think he's probably going to be needing some max fax specialist.
Fred, what we're trying to figure out is where we're going to take you, where's best to get your face repaired, all right? We're just going to figure that out at the minute, okay?
The Queen Elizabeth Major Trauma Centre in Birmingham has specialist maxillofacial surgeons who can assess and treat Fred's head wounds.
Not surprised.
That lip damage, that filtering damage, that's all from the front teeth, isn't it? Where he's pretty much kissed the floor, isn't he? So.
You're a tough bloke, Fred.
Oh, he sure was.
Fred, I'm going to ask you again, sweetheart, do you want any pain relief?
Yeah, just a bit of painful here.
Do you want pain relief for you?
No.
No.
No, it's all right.
Fair enough.
Try not to keep damaging it, baby.
Amazingly, Fred seems to be untroubled by his injuries. He wasn't wearing a helmet. If he had been, it may have deflected some of the force of the blow and given him more protection from serious long-term brain injury.
If you're getting blood into your mouth, just let it dribble into there. Try not to force the spit, just let it dribble out.
As it stands, he will need a brain scan to rule out any potentially fatal clots or bruising.
How fast do you normally cycle there, Fred?
Oh, no.
It's not got a battery in it, has it, your bike?
No. Just an ordinary racer.
A racer?
Yeah.
Yeah, on his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
40 mile an hour then. Head down.
There is still... Trauma desk is going to give them a heads up, so you can be seen sooner rather than later. And if they can't manage Fred, then they'll get him transferred to the QE where you can go. All right.
Lovely.
We'll get out of your way.
I don't know what happened.
Take care. Have a nice day.
All right, Fred, you mind how you go, OK? Next time, wear a helmet.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Cheers.
It's a 6-minute journey to hospital. Happy that Fred is stable, Colin and Will leave him in the care of the paramedics, freeing them up for their next emergency call.
Yeah, they seem to be...
Stoic.
Yeah. Very good pain threshold. I would have been crying.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing?
She's having a fit.
Has she been diagnosed with epilepsy?
I don't know, I'm not sure, sorry.
Okay.
She's fitting really badly.
6-2, we're shown about 5 minutes away. It's reports of a 39-year-old female who's having a seizure. in the Merry Hill shopping centre. She's been having headaches, and now today she's gone on to have a fit.
A woman is in the throes of a potentially life-threatening seizure. The critical care team are urgently needed, and critical care paramedics Mike Andrews and Pete Edwards are en route.
That's all received, many thanks.
Seizures are caused by surges of electricity in the brain and are an indication of epilepsy, a neurological disorder that kills 1,000 Britons every year.
Oh, there you go, visual. I'll get the red bag. Do you mind grabbing the drugs?
In the shopping centre, a building society clerk has suddenly collapsed at work and started fitting uncontrollably. Her shocked colleagues called 999. An ambulance crew is already on scene.
Hello, how are you doing? All right. How's it going? I'm Pete. I'm one of the paramedics. This is Mike.
39-year-old Emily is lying unconscious. The ambulance paramedic who has been looking after her updates Pete on her condition.
She was fitting for about 15 minutes before we got here.
Yeah, okay.
She's fitted for 2 minutes 54 while we've been here.
Yeah.
We don't know anything else.
Okay. No history of head injury today or anything like that. So we just got migraines recently, had a seizure today. Just today. Okay, all right.
Can you squeeze my hand, sweet? Can you squeeze my hand for me?
As part of his assessment, Pete needs to know if Emily's ever been symptomatic before.
So she is an epileptic, is that what we're saying?
When she was little, she did used to have it, but not recently.
Right, okay, so she hasn't had a seizure for a while, but she has had them in the past.
Probably about this time last year. This is the last one.
Okay.
People's jaws often clamp shut during seizures, which restricts the airways. If starved of oxygen, Emily could go into cardiac arrest. So Pete needs to administer diazepam, a muscle relaxant, to stop her convulsing.
Should we put a bandage on so we don't lose the IV access? Are you able to, is that all right? I'm just thinking that if she starts fitting again, we might get pulled out, mightn't it?
Worried that Emily may start thrashing around when she fits, Pete needs to be sure the IV line is securely attached.
I think now we've got IV access. If she starts fitting again, we'll go to diazepams, yeah? Is that all right? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, yeah. And BM and everything's all right. I think the best thing, we'll get a stretcher, get her onto the vehicle. Yeah, okay.
Pete wants to get Emily to hospital, but she takes a turn for the worse.
Is that wound or is that dressing? What's that there?
In Birmingham, trauma doctor Adam and critical care paramedic Rob are trying to save the life of a boy who's been stabbed in the street.
Can you see? Here.
Okay, so we've got one behind me here.
Yeah.
Is there anything at the front of the neck?
The 16-year-old has a deep wound to his neck and it's spurting blood.
Okay, put a direct on there then.
He's already lost about a litre of blood. The human body contains 5. Adam knows he can't afford to lose much more before he passes out and goes into cardiac arrest.
Right, mate, have a look.
What's gonna happen now? Listen, what's gonna happen? Don't worry about them. Look at me. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna get you onto an ambulance, okay? Let me just see if there's any blood in your mouth. Open your mouth wide. Good lad. Okay.
Pressure from his wound is causing the boy to panic and restricting his breathing.
Just calm your breathing. You're doing absolutely fine. I know it might feel hard where you've been injured. Okay, it's away from your voice box. I know it's scary, okay, but you're doing fine. I'm pushing on the side of your neck.
They need to get him to hospital for emergency surgery to repair the blood vessels in his neck, but moving him risks tearing the wound and sudden catastrophic blood loss.
Not tight. Okay. Right. Listen, have you got phlegm at the back? Just spit it out, mate.
Just spit it on the floor, go on.
Adam needs to keep the boy calm while maintaining a constant life-saving pressure on his neck to stop the bleeding.
Do you feel able to stand, mate?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Good lad. Yeah, go on.
I'm not going to let go because I need to put that pressure on, okay? Hold on, guys, hold on. I need to keep the pressure on.
Can you get around, mate? Are you in? So, bump there, that's it. Lay down on the bed.
Okay.
Once on the stretcher, it's now a race against time to get him to hospital.
Right, mate, you okay? Can we have our bag on the back? Yeah.
My hands are going to be a bit tied up just to keep that pressure on. So let's get some straps on. How are you doing? All right, well done. Okay. I need to keep to the QE. Yeah, I need to keep my hands on to stop the bleeding, okay? Because you have bled a reasonable amount. Any medical history I need to know about? Asthmatic? Sickle cell? No? Are you allergic to anything? Right. Okay.
Leave a little bit of room for me. That's it. Well done. Good, so a bit brighter in here.
On the ambulance, Adam and Rob can now fully assess the damage the knife has done.
Hi, mate. All right.
He's bled a fair bit of volume and he's still bleeding past my hand, so I need to get a grip on where that's coming from. Tacky 130, active from the back. It's not anywhere major vascular, but it is actively bleeding. Can I have that Celox, so I can see where that's coming from now?
Well done, Adam.
Using a gauze coated with a blood-clotting agent, Adam manages to stabilise the wound as much as possible to prepare for the journey.
Nice and steady.
All right, buddy. We're going to sort you out. We're going to take you to the QE. Good work.
You're doing great, mate. You're doing great. Have you got pain anywhere else? No. Okay.
12 minutes after they arrived on scene, Adam and Rob are en route to hospital.
Okay. Rob, do you want to carry on looking at access for me?
Yeah. Give us that arm.
The boy is in such a critical condition, they both need to travel with him, continuing emergency care throughout the 6-mile journey.
I'm going to do the TXA. Yeah. You can do the set of obs.
Arriving at hospital 11 minutes later, Adam delivers his still critically ill patient to the waiting emergency staff.
That's one of the things we are there for. We will just bring some advanced decision-making in terms of which hospital we're going to. We won't go to the nearest hospital. We will travel a little bit further with an unstable patient to get them to the right major trauma centre.
Let's get the stretcher, let's get something to get her out and get that sorted, all right?
In Dudley, critical care paramedic Pete Edwards is fighting to control the seizures threatening 39-year-old Building Society clerk Emily's life.
Emily, we're going to look after you, OK? Let's get a BM done, make sure her blood sugars aren't low. We've got her on oxygen, OK? If she starts really fitting again and it's prolonged, we'll give her some diazomols, and obviously we'll just have to then do a bit of airway maintenance in case she goes on. And we'll just pop the SATs probe back on, just keep her eye on her SAT.
Whether or not we have the condition, 1 in 20 of us will suffer a one-off epileptic seizure at some point, and they can be fatal.
Just have a look at that, Mike, make sure I've drawn up the right thing. It's diazomols and it's in date, OK? Yeah, 10 milligrams in 2 mil. All right.
9 minutes after the last one with a sedative anti-seizure medication on board, Emily's condition seems to be improving.
Pop her onto her side just for, like, into the recovery position. Yeah.
She is more alert, and her convulsions appear to have subsided.
Yeah, super. Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine.
But Pete's critical care training makes him ever watchful.
And even in the most severe cases, despite us giving anti-seizure medication, the patient continues to fit, and this can become time-critical emergency.
With a sedation, there's a risk her body could struggle to breathe.
If we don't manage the airway and the brain is starved of oxygen, there is brain damage, brain death, and ultimately cardiac arrest.
The priority now, get Emily to hospital.
Emily, my love, can you hear me okay? Listen, we're going to get you up the hospital and get the doctor to look at you. We've just got to get you onto the stretcher now. I'm just going to pop the oxygen off for now. I'm going to sit you up, nice and steady, just bend in the middle. OK. Right, Emily, lean back against me and just have a moment, because you've been lying down, all right? All right? Do you know where you are? No? It's a bit strange. We're going to help you. All we've got to do is get you onto him and get you nice and comfy. OK, so we'll go on through. We'll have a little rock. So, 1, 2, and 3. Up we go onto our feet. Lovely. Super. Emily, swing your legs up. Let's get you comfy. That's it.
The ambulance will take Emily to the nearest emergency department.
Thankfully, on this occasion, she appears to have made a quite rapid recovery. Some patients will just have one seizure, make a recovery, and they're absolutely fine. But we do go to these patients who recover, and then sometimes it might be minutes later or even seconds later, they'll have further seizures, and this can be quite complicated. And those sort of patients, we get them to hospital where they can be assessed further sometimes, just to make sure there isn't anything more untoward going on somewhere.
How bad's the pain out of 10?
Okay. In Stourbridge, critical care paramedic Tom Waters is trying to assess the damage to Daniel's hand after he sliced into it with an angle grinder.
Okay, all right, bud. All right, bud. Turn your arm round. All right. You feel me touching your hair? Okay.
Daniel has a 3-inch wound, 1.5 inches deep between his thumb and forefinger. Once the towel is removed, it starts bleeding freely again.
We've got that thumb for me.
Can't.
Okay, all right. What we're going to do, buddy, is we're going to clean it up. It's in the corner bit of your thumb. That make you obviously know where it is.
Lucky for Daniel, the blade stops short of the bone.
Straighten that arm out for me. I'm sorry. Well done. I just want to straighten this hand for me.
Daniel is fortunate. All his fingers are still there, and there's no obvious nerve damage. The wound will now be cleaned with saline solution and dressed to immobilize the fingers and help stop the bleeding.
It's just obviously in the crease of his thumb. He's got good circulation here. Yeah, and he can feel me touching his hands. Yeah. And it's, yeah, so I think it's just more soft tissue.
Yeah.
We're going to cover it.
Yep.
And then I think we'll...
If we just take a picture? So
yeah, that's fine.
One of the paramedics takes photographs of the wound to show to the hospital doctors in A&E so they can assess whether he needs immediate surgery.
Yeah, nice and still.
All right. Keep still for us, buddy. As soon as you've done this, we'll get you some pain relief.
Last year, almost 5,000 people were admitted to hospital following accidents with power tools.
We're going to bandage that up. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit painful for a little while.
I'm sorry, mate. When you're working next, don't say Monday.
Yeah. He won't be.
I think it probably feels and looks worse than what it is.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be cleaned, it needs to be x-rayed.
Yeah.
And it needs to be stitched back together.
Cheers for that. I don't know how you lot could look at it, to be fair.
That's all right, mate. There you go. Just take your time, nice and slow. With no rush. Feel all right? Let me just walk behind you.
With Daniel now recovered enough to walk out to the ambulance, Tom is happy to leave him in the care of the local crew for the journey to hospital.
He'll go to the local A&E where he'll get it cleaned. He most likely will have some form of antibiotics and an x-ray, and then it'll be decided onto there if he needs specialist care to treat that part of his hand. It's very much in the forefront of our minds that we want him to get the best care for his hand. So he's a young chap, he's a labourer, we obviously need to get him back to work as soon as possible. It could have been a lot worse. It's still going to be a really painful injury, but hopefully he'll have a really quick recovery.
One of the trauma team's key areas of expertise is paediatric emergency care. Being called to a critically ill child is every paramedic's worst nightmare, so they need to be able to rely on a high level of skills and training.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing?
Yes, he is.
Are they conscious?
Yeah, yes, he is.
And what's wrong with the patient?
He's just gone completely down the stairs.
He fell down the stairs?
Yes, he's two.
Top to bottom, was it?
Literally, yes. I think his wrist might be a bit broken.
Oh. And did he bang his head or has he landed on his feet?
I'm not sure. I don't know how. He landed kind of upside down at the bottom.
Six two. I've got that it's a 2-year-old that's fallen down the stairs. Is that correct, Emma?
That's correct, mate. Yeah, top to bottom of the stairs, there's more than 3 metres of walk. Child's had a head injury. They are conscious, but they've clearly got a fracture wrist as well.
Roger, that's all received. Thanks, Mike.
In Albury, critical care paramedic Faye Pollock is en route to a code red emergency. A 2-year-old child has fallen 3 meters downstairs, landing on his head.
Just confirming that he has fallen top to bottom of the stairs. He's got a head injury and a wrist injury.
An ambulance has been called, but with the potential for life-threatening injuries, the trauma team's enhanced skills are also required.
Obviously, because it's a child and they have their whole lives ahead of them. The last thing they want to do is be fighting for their life or be disabled in any way because of an accident.
3 minutes later, Faye is on scene, ready to be briefed by the ambulance crew.
This is young Josh, 2 years of age. Mum said he's got this big habit at the moment of doing Superman down the stairs. But she's in here and she's heard thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
I haven't touched him, I haven't done anything. We literally just got here, found out the history, that's it.
OK, I'll have a chat to Mum initially. Is he acting as normal now? He seems quiet.
Yeah, he's very hyper, Josh is. He's constantly on the go.
Mum Rachel confirms there has been a worrying change in Josh's behaviour. The worst-case scenario is that Josh has fractured his skull in the fall and has a potentially fatal bleed on his brain.
This is almost as if he's either covering his eyes or his arm's hurting. I'm not sure, but this is unusual for him to put his arm across.
No, we can do that with strangers.
So that might be a comfort thing, the fact that we're OK.
Critically ill or injured children can appear to be OK, but then suddenly go downhill.
So the little things like that, only mums know, but it says a lot to us in that
definitely.
He's not photophobic.
Josh, can we put something onto your thumb?
No.
Josh needs to go to hospital to be scanned. First, though, Faye needs to take his blood pressure and heart rate, but Josh is too distressed.
He hasn't been sick, has he? He's not.
No sickness.
No.
If he's gone down the stairs the way he has, you're not going to come down without the mark, are you? No, that's God bless you. It's just because I've not really been able to get too close to be able to really get my hands on. And the only thing I'm doing when I'm getting near him is distress.
Makes him more upset.
At the moment,
He has also been guarding his left arm in a way that suggests he might have broken it in the fall.
I tell you what, let's see if we can try a little trick. Can I have Mickey a second? Is that Mickey? Let me just have Mickey for a second. Let's see. Let's put.
Oh, don't you want to give Mickey?
That's a good sign that his arms are all right. Yeah. You fell for the trick.
Encouraged by Josh's reaction, Faye tries again to attach the monitoring equipment.
Do you want to pick which finger?
Which finger? Should we do it on this one?
Do you want to try?
Should we try it on your foot? Yeah, come on.
But he's not falling for it.
Mommy, do it. Mommy, do it.
He's certainly a good colour in his lips, good colouring in his face. The fact that he's able to understand and say no are all the signs that I think he's probably just shocked himself. Yeah, distressed himself.
To help soothe Josh, Faye wants to administer some paracetamol.
It'll make you feel better, sweetheart. Good boy. Come on, Josh. Okay. Oh, that's it. Good boy. Well done, Mum. You've done that before.
Paramedic Nikki has a trick up her sleeve to try and take Josh's mind off his troubles.
You're going to catch him.
Distracted by the bubbles, the paramedics manage to attach the oxygen saturation and heart rate monitor to his toes.
Yay, well done, Josh.
Should we see if we can get him over there? You can catch him. Can you reach over that way? Oh, well done.
That has worked a treat. Well done, you.
Quick thing.
I like footballs. Yes, it's about amusement. Doesn't matter about the patients. Apparently the wounds on his legs are from previous Superman impressions, yeah?
It must hurt, but it doesn't stop him.
It's excitement though, Dad. It's the excitement of going head first down the stairs.
Josh looks to be making good progress, but Faye still wants him to go to hospital to be checked over by the emergency doctors.
Mum, is there anything that you need?
No.
Immediately.
I've already done it.
Oh, you're, oh, God, wow. That is one prepared mother. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You take care, Mum. Well done for keeping you cool.
She leaves him in the care of the ambulance crew for the 6-mile journey to Birmingham City Hospital.
So you're never quite sure what injuries they may have. And as you saw, he's so scared and he's so anxious, the fact that he's got 3 strange people in the room. He immediately curled up into a ball on Grandma's lap. So there was no way that we were going to be able to assess him for his injuries properly there until the paramedic got an absolute beauty with those bubbles.
On this edition of Lifeguard.
On a red flag day like today, nothing's going to be smooth. We get those big sets and the boat's out there. He needs to make it over those sets. He can't get caught inside or else we're going to have a serious problem.
And
there's been a report of a shark sighting in the area.
For your safety, we ask that you exit the water.
Plus,
this girl came up to me. She's like, I think my sister burned her hand back in the fire pits.
Just went through her skin down into her nerves. It's a bad burn.
And later.
This is the last day of rookie school. We're gonna do the 3-mile swim.
It's gonna be a super long swim. I'm a little worried about sharks.
The lifeguards of Southern California protect over 400 miles of coastline.
It's just really us versus nature.
And nothing impacts their day like the weather.
As lifeguards, the weather dictates the type of day that you're going to have.
Shark sighting up there in the water.
I need medics to keep each dock and other units.
On these beaches, lifeguards are the first responders.
1, 2, 3, 4. When you get this many people coming to the beach, things are going to happen.
Hey, you all right, buddy? You there?
They are there to save you.
He told me to grab the buoy. He was literally right there.
They are there to lifeguard. Newport Beach, often home to the biggest waves in Southern California. The surf may not be consistently large, but when the conditions are right, the waves here are legendary.
Ocean conditions at Newport Beach vary a lot, and that variation depends on the weather, especially the wind. Waves are generated by the wind blowing over the ocean surface. A storm is the same way as an atmospheric rock dropped in the ocean, and the waves move away from where they were created. And our waves come from storms that are relatively far away.
Earlier this week, a storm in the South Pacific began moving sets of waves towards Southern California. Today, they're making landfall in Newport Beach. For lifeguard supervisor George Leeper, that means today is going to be busy.
Vibe right now for this area, all the guards are probably on pins and needles. Anything could happen at any moment right now.
The swell has been big all weekend, and all the lifeguards have to be on high alert because it makes the rip currents that much stronger.
Due to the Pacific swell, red flags and cones are used as educational markers to warn the public of dangerous conditions.
Most of the people that are trying to be in waist-deep water, it's because they're not that good of a swimmer, but it's not always up to you where waist-deep water is. It can change very quickly.
Lifeguard Zach Larkin was watching the pounding surf from Tower 61.
A pretty big set came through and a rip current popped right here in front of the tower, slightly to the right, and there was 4 victims inside the rip current.
Lifeguard Larkin calls for backup and races into the ocean.
The issue was there was another set coming, so some pretty big waves, maybe 6-foot faces, and 2 of the victims were pretty young.
5341, 61 rescue outside with multiple victims. 10-4 en route for 52.
Larkin and the rescue boat arrive at the victims at the same time.
You guys all right?
Lifeguard George Leeper has also responded. His job is to back up Tower 61.
As we pulled up, the guard from 61 and 65 were both in the water. The boat was back down, helping out. I jumped out of the rig here to back up the rescue.
This rescue will be difficult. The waves are pounding both lifeguards and their victims. The boat has only seconds to get close enough to haul in any of the swimmers.
On a red flag day like today, nothing's going to be smooth. We get those big sets and the boat's out there. He needs to make it over those sets. He can't get caught inside or else we're going to have a serious problem.
3 victims are safely on board. Then, trouble. A giant set of waves forces the rescue boat away from the rip current, leaving lifeguards and a female victim in the impact zone.
As I said, grab on your board, hang on your board, and I said, I got you, just hang on real tight, don't let go.
Lifeguards Larkin and Marienthal have only seconds to pull in the 4th victim before another wave breaks.
Hey. Can you grab the handle? Can you grab my hand? Okay, can you put on the step if you can? There you go.
I was the only guard left on the beach when I saw 3 more kids started getting pulled out in the rip too. 5375, I'm gonna be responding towards the left side of 61. Looks like 3 victims.
Both Leeper and the rescue boat react to the new danger.
And I saw one big wave just crush that kid, and his boogie board went flying up in the air. I pulled up, I took off my sunglasses, my shirt, put my fins on, I get my buoy, I start dolphining out.
Giant waves pound Leeper as he fights his way toward the struggling swimmers. The Sea Watch, still carrying the Tower 61 victims, is approaching quickly from the north. Every time Leeper thinks he's getting close, the rip current pulls the victims farther away. The boat arrives first. Lifeguard Rob Marienthal is quickly in the water.
I saw a little kid that looked like he was really flustered as we grabbed him by the boogie board, tell him to get on, and usually give him a good ride in.
Those kids probably would have drowned over there. That was a very heavy situation. It was about a 6-foot set, breaking right on their heads, and they're getting pulled out in a rip. They had no fins on. They seem like decent swimmers, but I don't care if you're the Michael Phelps, you're not going to be able to swim against a rip current.
Kept getting pulled back and forth. My boogie board kept going under and up, under and up. That was like almost about to drown. It felt like the scariest thing in my life.
All told, 5 lifeguards pulled 7 victims from the flash rip currents. Today, everyone will go home safely. La Jolla, California, home of the legendary Scripps Institute of Oceanography. This famous marine research facility was established here because this area is home to some of the most diverse shore life in Southern California.
La Jolla is renowned for the beautiful scenery and the wildlife around here. We have a lot of sea lions and seals in the area. You can see dolphins playing in the water, and it's a great scuba diving location here.
But the main attraction for diving in these waters may come as a surprise. Sharks. Hundreds of them.
The most common species of nearshore shark in San Diego is probably the leopard shark.
Leopard sharks have a fierce name, but these sharks have very small teeth and are non-aggressive.
So leopard sharks are very unique. They are about a medium-sized shark, typically about 5 to 6 feet long, maximum length, and they have these beautiful saddles and spots all over their body, which is representative of their namesake. You know, the most common place to see leopard sharks would be La Jolla shores, where they form an aggregation every spring, summer, and fall, and the number can be up to several hundred. We don't exactly know why they're here, but they all seem to be pregnant females. We don't see the juveniles and we don't see the males, so probably not mating. They're probably there because it's calm water and because there's a lot of food around, but they are completely harmless to people.
Today, low wind and cloudless skies have created excellent water visibility for snorkelers looking to get close to these sharks.
There was actually a school of sharks around me. I probably saw literally 30 sharks, enough that it made me a little bit uneasy. There was a lot more life in the water than I'm used to seeing. I mean, there's a lot more bat rays, there's a lot of guitar fish, and the ocean seemed to be teeming with life.
With all the snorkelers in the water, lifeguards try to keep the swimmers from drifting too far from shore. Veteran lifeguard Amanda Skarsky heads into the surf line to keep watch. But something is watching her.
I was paddling the rescue board north, and as I was outside the breakers, I saw about 13 to 14 foot, what looked like to be a great white shark. It was probably about 2 feet away from me. It had a pointed nose, was gray in color, very large dorsal fin. This was not a leopard shark. This was not something that you want to mess around with.
There's been a report of a shark sighting in the area, and lifeguards are going to be clearing the water.
Exit the water, please. A shark has been sighted in the immediate area of La Jolla shores. The shark has been sighted.
The shark has been sighted in the immediate area. For your safety, we ask that you exit the water.
As swimmers scramble out of the water, Sergeant Mike Cranston deploys a helicopter to locate the shark.
This is Able 1. What's the location the shark was last seen?
Directly off the main lifeguard tower, directly outside the surf line, traveling in a southbound direction.
This year, a slew of shark sightings put lifeguards on high alert. 75 miles away, off Catalina Island, a white shark latches onto a teenager's paddleboard, biting it several times. Across the country in the cold waters off Rhode Island, a 1,600-pound white shark washes on shore.
I'm glad the summer is over. Don't think I'll go back in the water.
In Cape Cod, Massachusetts, beachgoers watch in terror as a white shark stalks kayaker Walter Zoltz before disappearing into deeper water.
Just figured this is it. This is it, or I'm gonna make it, I don't know.
But 21 miles to the north in Ballston Beach, Chris Myers is not as lucky.
A shark attacked, he's bleeding, he's wounded.
Tragedy struck when a white shark grabbed Myers in 6 feet of water. It was the first white shark attack in Cape Cod in over 75 years. Then, in Eureka, California, a shark pulls Scott Stevens from his surfboard. And in Santa Barbara County, another surfer is struck by a 16-foot white shark. The wound is fatal. In 2012, a total of 34 shark attacks are recorded in America. And La Jolla lifeguards are racing to keep their beach off the list.
Everything north of the pier is in the advisory zone.
As the 14-foot shark prowls the water, lifeguards rush to evacuate 2 miles of surf line. They clear all beaches from La Jolla shores to Black's Beach.
Please dedicate a surf boat to patrol the shores area.
With several thousand people in the water, lifeguards call for extra support.
Jet 1 copies, en route to Black's Beach.
We are making warnings on all the kayaks that are currently in the water and pushing them southbound out of the closure.
Go into the beach, over there. As lifeguards right now, we're clearing everyone out of the water. We have our rescue boat, Rescue West, out, making sure if they happen to come across any scuba divers or stand-up paddlers that they need to exit the water. We want to prevent an attack from happening, so that would be the worst nightmare.
A quarter mile down the beach, witnesses spot a dark fin moving through the waves.
Oh, just saw it, yeah.
For the report, there's been about 8 other witnesses from shore.
But as soon as the shark is spotted, it vanishes.
We've checked around the cove pretty good. No sign of a large shark, just dolphin.
Without a visual, it's presumed that the shark has returned to the deep. But Cranston is hesitant to let anyone back into the ocean. Erring on the side of caution, lifeguards decide to keep the beach closed for 24 hours.
We have policies and standard operating procedures that tell us what to do in this case, and then we can make the best determination of how to get that information out to the public. The media want to obviously cover the story, and it does help us get the information out. So people, if they were planning to come to the beach this evening, now a lot of people will know that this beach is closed, and if they wish to enjoy some ocean activities, they should go to another area. So it's a good relationship we have with them. They do get on scene fast. They do help us get the word out to the public.
He said that there was a shark in the water and everybody had to get out.
But why was it so concerning to you?
My 7-year-old was out there.
And they are also looking for a good story. And when people are sitting down to eat their dinner and watching the news, a large shark sighting in La Jolla is definitely a good, juicy story for them.
In the history of San Diego, there have only been 3 fatal shark attacks. But none of those attacks occurred with a lifeguard on duty.
Very proud of how everyone acted, utilizing the PA systems from the trucks, the towers, the jet ski, the rescue boat. They're more than happy to maintain a presence out there for everyone's safety.
With 3.5 miles of uninterrupted coastline and over 11 million annual visitors, Huntington Beach is one of the largest and most populated in Southern California.
Today is just a gorgeous day. We just have like really light winds, which is kind of keeping the temperatures down a little bit. It's nice and cool.
With the weather cooling to 65 degrees and darkness approaching, a calm, clear evening is the perfect recipe for a beach bonfire. Families and friends flock to the 167 fire pits on Huntington Beach. But as Todd Bartlett, a 25-year veteran lifeguard, knows, a perfect evening at the beach can go wrong in just a few seconds.
We just got a call for help. It's going to be medical aid behind Tower 13.
10-4, I'll let you know, 10. I'll send over the cadets. They can assist you.
Lifeguard Griffin Camps was the first responder on scene.
This girl came up to me. She's like, I think my sister burned her hand back in the fire pits. Grabbed my first aid kit buoy, ran back to the fire pits. You could see full thickness burns all over her hands. So I wrapped her hand up, tried to keep it as moist as possible, and that's when Todd showed up.
It's gonna be a little girl. There's Mom right here. Mom right here? Okay. What's her name? Actually, go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little dressing on top of it, okay? Okay. So what's happening is she's the tips of her fingers. Yes, well, the air is touching the tip, and that's what's causing all of her pain. It was knew instantly. It's what we call a full thickness burn, which means it went through her skin down into her nerves. It's a bad burn. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put this one on instead. I want to cover up her whole hand, okay? Okay, it's hurting a little bit?
Underneath the sand was a layer of hot coals. She put her hand on there, and that completely burned her hand, burned all over it.
Did you have any more owies anywhere else on your hands or on your feet? No more owies? Was it just her hand? Anytime you get a burn, the clock's ticking, you need to get her to the burn center as soon as possible because every second goes by, that's more damage done to your hand and it could be irreversible. Okay.
Todd makes the decision to move the victim off the beach, where paramedics are waiting.
Hey, we're gonna go with Mommy inside the lifeguard truck, okay? Mom, we're gonna go in the front seat, okay, Mom? We'll come together. It's extremely hard to stay calm during situations, and I know for a fact that if I start freaking out, then the whole scene's gonna go downhill. So it's almost you have no choice but to stay calm and make sure that you give that little girl everything you got. It's okay, it's okay. I know. It's okay, okay?
Don't happen to me.
Yeah, we have a solid second, third degree burn to her almost her whole right hand. Nothing on her elbows, her hips are all fine. It's just all in that one area.
Patient contact time at 1849.
On scene, the medics evaluate the victim's vital signs and decide to administer morphine to reduce the excruciating pain.
I was really fighting back tears almost that whole call before the medics got there and gave her the morphine because I knew that's the only thing that's really going to help her.
Try to keep your arm down too. It's okay. Just keep by your chest. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That wasn't a routine burn. That was a significant burn. Her road to recovery is going to be years. I guarantee she's going to have skin grafts. And the good news was that she was able to use all of her fingers and she was able to move her hand. So that's the good news. But the bad news is it's going to be a scar there for the rest of her life.
In Del Mar, the lifeguards stay on the cutting edge, always looking for the newest and best. This includes their facilities, their equipment, and even their staff.
Welcome back, you guys. This is the last day of a month-long rookie school. We're gonna do the 3-mile swim. If you guys get in trouble, you got the buoy.
For sisters Sandy and Andrea Taylor, this will be their final test. Those who complete this swim will become Del Mar's newest lifeguards. Those who do not will be dismissed.
I'm freaking out because we're going 3 miles and it's gonna be a super long swim and it's gonna be really cold. So I'm getting kind of panicked and nervous. I'm a little worried about sharks.
For the first time, a lifeguard, a rookie in training, getting dropped 3 miles out, it is a big deal. And once we get them completing that, then all the nerves settle and they're actually ready to sit tower.
The trainees plunge into the 58-degree water with nothing but a buoy. For the next 3 miles, it will be just them against the elements. For the Taylor girls, this is more than just a summer job. It's about living up to a family tradition. Their 2 older sisters, Natalie and Sarah, are also Del Mar lifeguards.
We went on a hike the other day and she brought this to top. Stop it.
Andrea and Sandy, they really like the lifeguard stuff. And the older sisters want to hear about it. Do you have any rescues? What were they?
Andrea, where were you?
Headquarters.
Rookie point.
That's what they call it, rookie point? What do you do?
Enjoy myself.
That's a good name, I like it.
Really, it was a family affair. My sister was the first female lifeguard in Orange County. I think lifeguarding actually is sort of a shared experience. And as a lot of people tell you, our girls do spend a lot of time together. They're good friends.
Andrea is definitely like the crazy one. She's always been like that and she always will be.
We don't have any boys, so we call Andrea our boy. And Andrea is very engaging and very athletic.
Sandy's the youngest sister that kind of branched out a little bit. She went different directions and tried something new.
She plays soccer and she rides horses and she does very well in school. And she lets everyone know what's going on and what she does and what she doesn't want to do.
Natalie, she's definitely got that older sister personality.
How do I put this in my backpack?
Oh, I can show you.
She takes things very seriously and will very often get her sisters to follow the rules.
Sarah is very much like her father. She's exceptionally bright, but she's the most sensitive, probably, of all the girls.
She's quiet at first, but she definitely has her little comments and is hilarious if you actually get to know her.
She was like, the food's great, I've never been there, but my friend's friend told me.
Actually, we all have different personalities, but we all mesh together well.
Meanwhile, as the open water race continues, the trainees are now less than a mile from shore. Sandy and Andrea stay close together, pushing each other onward.
Sandy was awesome to have with me. She was definitely a support.
An hour and a half into the swim, the new class of rookie guards take their first steps on the beach.
Feels great. A little dizzy, a little disoriented. Head is very cold.
Minutes later, both Taylors arrive on shore.
The first part wasn't that bad. It was once you could see people on the beach. You're like, yeah, okay, I'm only like 20 minutes, and it felt so long. Definitely this moment means a lot to me. Finally completing, starting like an actual job and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, guys, let's get close.
All right, 1, 2, 3. There's definitely a Taylor name at the lifeguard department, and I do want to live up to it, and hopefully I am.